Hey everyone, what's up? I just wanted to give you a quick lesson on color. So right now we're in Harmony 11 and I have a scene open up from my Universe Travel Mizu episode 2. So we're in our network view right now. So right now all you see are all these nodes, and all these nodes correspond to the different layers and effects that I have on this cut, as well as composites and displays, as well as what's being written when I output to a video file, when I compress everything into one video file. So right now we're going to be focusing on color scale. Now I'm using color scale just for an example of an overall color for a cut. So I have all my layers in one composite that's being fed through a brightness, which I'll turn off because I don't need it right now. And it's going into the color scale, and that color scale is being fed into a composite. So if we switch over to our camera view, we can see the frame, which is about frame 41 and about a 81 frame cut. So if I open up my editor for my color scale, I can show you what color does to a cut. So your shot, let's say you finish your shot and you composited it, and you have your background layer, and you have your foreground layer, and you have your midground layer. So color can affect a scene drastically. So let's say we were going to up the value of blue. We could turn a day shot into somewhat of a night shot. Of course, I would balance this and choose a correct color, but blue instantly gives a different look and a different feel to the scene. As opposed to the original. So color can affect different moods. You can get different reactions out of your audience depending on what color you use. So right now I bumped up the green, I bumped up the red. So now it has more of a romantic feel, I guess. Changing hue and saturation also gives it a different feel, of course. And I'm just using these at random just to show you the different looks that can be achieved. So that could be like some weird ghostly dream, or if you're depicting something on like an alien planet, maybe something unnatural. Your saturation, you change that and it'll have a dramatic effect as well. or if you desaturate it, you totally just take out all the color and it becomes a grayscale or a black and white. So everything color-wise that you choose to do affects the mood and the tone of your show. Even the colors that you choose for characters can make people feel different ways. So you have to keep in mind when you're choosing colors the different effects that can be achieved, as well as the effects that will be impressed onto others, those who are watching. So there's a lot that can be done with color. So I hope that made a little sense of what color can do. I'll try to get more into the subjects about color and coloring characters. But that was just an overall uh, look for your cut. Color can affect, like I said, where your characters, the different colors your characters are, can affect how people feel about them. Um, Different countries and people who were born there, they all have different notions of color. Color is a universal thing, but different colors mean different things and to different people and the origin of their birth. And not just origin of their birth, but if they grew up in a certain country. One color could mean good things in one country, and if you use them in your design in another country, they might not have the same effect. They might have a negative effect, or instead of a calming effect, they have more of an agitated effect. For instance, the color red, um, it has a universal, um, I guess, a universal appeal or a universal um, effect on people that it supposedly makes people hungry. So that's why soft drinks and places like McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's, they might use the color red a lot in their packaging, so people subconsciously are constantly hungry and they keep eating basically. So I know her hair is a tone of red. I don't want to make anybody hungry, but it's a thing. So you might want to keep in mind all the effects of different color, and you might want to do more research on it. Thanks. I hope that made some sense. In Final Cut Pro X, and I wanted to show you some different looks that they have built into Final Cut, and getting back to color and how color can make you feel or change your view on what you're looking at. This is an overall color right now. The color set stage would have been done already. That's why I have my character already colored and my background painted. But this is an overall feel for color. So if you're going to do staging, you're compositing and you're picking your shot. It's part of the layout stage, and it's part of the concept stage. You're using color to provoke an emotion with people, mainly your audience. And the right color can make or break a scene or a cut. And this is just an example of what a scene could look like. I'm sorry, what a cut could look like with different, more or less, filters on the scene. So I'll just play it back normally. This is a work in progress for Universe Traveler 2 episode. I'm sorry, Universe Traveler episode 2. It's a work in progress, and I don't know if it's even going to make it inside the show, and there's a lot of work that needs to be redone. So just for educational purposes, this is what it looks like. Okay, so our redheaded character, her name is 13, or Jusan, and I don't really have a character name for the squirrel. I guess I'll just, it's a squirrel that I guess mutates. Um, if you want more information about my show, I'll let you guys know. But right now we're focusing on different colors and how they affect your cut. So right now, let's say we have the same cut, but now it's in black and white. So now it has a more old school, vintage look to it. If we were gonna age it and put like a fake film look on it, could look like this. Make it look like it's from like the 1970s or 60s or something like that. It's damaged, it's old, has some texture to it, but it still looks a little vintage. You can make it truly black and white. If you do like a bleach bypass on it, it kind of desaturates the colors, gives it its own look and feel. Looks a little filmic, maybe like a late 70s, early 80s type of look. You can give it an overall cast. Once again, it looks like an old black and white uh, anime from like the late 60s or 50s, 60s, when black and white, I guess, was still around. Still another different type of color filter. Looks like an old Super 8, maybe, type of film. If you over contrast everything. If you turn day into night, So everything's more purpley or bluish. Change the time of day with color. As opposed to the night, the day for night, compared to the original. You can make your character look like it's in the desert. It's a weird dusty looking brownish sepia tone. You could have it a little blurry, like it's a dream. All these effects, they're just effects, but they do change the emotion of the cut. And you have to keep that in mind when you go into composite, and also when you're doing your concept design. You have to keep in mind that colors and filters and anything that's visual will affect how your images are received. If you add noise, gives it a texture, makes it feel a little bit like film. It's not as sharp. So there's a lot that can be done when you're doing color and you're using light and you're using light and dark, shadows, as well as highlights. Just remember, keep that in mind. Thanks.